Hey, what's up guys? Just leaving my local Walmart grocery store. Picked up 14-pound brisket. We're gonna take this from we're not sure to oh hell yes. Stick with me. I'll tell you what, for this evening's smoke, that's about as far as I'm gonna go. It doesn't have to be competition perfect if you're just gonna throw it on in the backyard, share it with some friends, or share it with your family. This is gonna be perfect. Flip this bad boy over, look at that. Fat cap trimmed down. I got a little greedy in a couple spots. Watch for that. Don't get too greedy when you're cutting. This, got a 1/4 inch of fat on the top. This is gonna be good. Whole packer, Walmart. Let's get it on. All right, we got this bad boy trimmed up. What I would normally do is take my simple beef rub, pat it on, wrap it in some peachy paper, keep it in the fridge overnight for at least 12 to 18 hours. I don't have that kind of time right now. Like I said, you saw at the beginning of the video, I just picked this bad boy up at Walmart. I mean, it's like 8:30 right now. I picked this thing up maybe 3 hours ago, 2 hours ago. We got all kinds of stuff going on in the house. It took me this long just to kind of trim it up, and it was a rough trim, okay? It was a rough trim, so I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna put our simple beef rub on it. I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit. I'm gonna put this bad boy on 12:30 a.m. I mean, that's like 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. That's why I gotta count my hands. 12:30, 4 more hours. I'm gonna put the simple beef rub on it. It's gonna sit for 4 hours. Then we're gonna put it out there on the smoker. I got some cherry pellets. This bad boy is gonna go at 14 pounds minus what we've already trimmed off. I wanna say, let's see. That's about a pound. I wanna say this bad boy right here without the arrows blowing by is about a 13-pound brisket, okay? Let's get this thing rubbed up. I'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, so pretty early in the morning, about ready to get this brisket on. One of the things I'm going to use today, tonight is a little bit different. I'm going to use the meter meat thermometer. The meter is actually pretty cool. Syncs to your phone. This little thermometer goes inside the meat. It has probes for internal as well as external temperature. So I've got a temperature reading for the interior of my smoker out there on the cabinet itself, but this bad boy will also give me a second check. It's pretty accurate. I love this. So with this thing, I'm just going to stick this right in the point. With the meter, you leave it sticking out a little bit, again, just to get a read of the temperature inside the cabinet, the internal temperature of the actual cabinet itself. So, also, this is the base station. You keep this out there next to the actual probe itself. It feeds back to your phone. Got a pretty good range. This thing's pretty cool. Actually, you can watch for the link in the description down below to pick this thing up on Amazon. This is pretty badass. All right, that brisket fills up pretty much all of my cabinet right here. But it's in, the meter's in. Let's close it up, let it ride. All right, so it's about 7:30 in the morning right now. I've been up checking on this thing once an hour since, I put it on at 3:30 in the morning. Normally I'd put it on at 12:30, but this was a little bit smaller than the last couple ones I did, 16, 17 pound. This one, again, like we said, is about a 12 pounder after we trimmed it. But anyhow, it's about 7:30. The meter app just rang a little bit ago, woke me up, said it was at about 161 degrees, 162, which means it's just about there as far as getting to the stall point or getting to the point where I want to wrap it, and I do want to wrap this. But anyhow, let's open it up, take a look at it, and check the consistency of the bark. That's looking good. All right, meter says it's about 175 internal. Let's check it out. Time to get it inside, wrap it, and get it back on to finish it off. Oh yeah, look at that water pan go. Sunrise on the brisket. All right guys, now that we've got it back in the house, I'm gonna roll out some peachy paper. Get our brisket on there. See how I tore a little hole in my peachy paper right there? I want this probe sticking out a little bit because I still want to monitor the internal temperature of the smoker just to make sure that I've got the temperature right. I don't want to overcook this thing or blast it with heat, or I don't want my heat to drop off. All right, that's it. So if you noticed, I wrapped it with, and I'm keeping the fat side up. Some people put fat side down. You know, I haven't tried that yet, to be honest with you. Maybe we'll try that one next time. But the briskets that I've done that have been successful, I've done them all fat side up and wrapped just like this. So we're gonna take this back out, put it on the smoker, and I'm looking at probably another 5 hours, maybe 4.5, maybe 6.5, but somewhere around that range. No two briskets are the same, so you gotta remain flexible. There it is, final resting place before it's done. Again, we're targeting around 203. That's what I got the meter set for. But once we get around 200 again, it's probe tender. That's what we're looking for. And I'll bring my other pen out here, my little Maverick Therm pen, to kind of punch in there and take some measurements. All right, so meter's telling me it's 203. Let's double check this. Got my Maverick pen. We're gonna check the temperature just to double check it, and then we're gonna give it the old probe test for tenderness. You know, over there on the flat, I want it to go a little bit longer. Yeah, I think a little bit more. We're at 203 right now. It can go a little bit longer. All right, let's check it out. Oh yeah, 207 and buttery. Buttery. Pull that probe and more insulation. All right, guys, that brisket's out. It's been resting now for a couple hours. Always let your brisket rest at least an hour. 2 is better. You can even let this thing go 3 hours. It's gonna be fine as long as you've got it insulated in a cooler or some kind of ice chest like that. I use towels or linens you saw earlier to wrap that thing up. As long as you got it insulated, it's gonna stay hot. It's gonna give that brisket a chance to reabsorb all those juices. Let's get it out, slice into it, and see what we got. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Boy, that's hot. That's a hot towel right there. Good Lord. Still hot. Woo! Ouch. Still hot. Let's get this paper off of here. Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see the steam still coming off of this thing. Boy, it is right. Whew. God damn, it's still hot. All right, pull out my beautiful Shun knife. This is the 12-inch slicer. It's a beautiful knife. I'll leave a description in the link below where you can find this knife. But so with the brisket, like we said, you got the point on one side, the flat on the other. We're gonna slice this thing right down the middle so that we can take and rotate our point 90 degrees because we got grain in the flat running this direction, so we can slice freely this way, but with the point, we got grain running this way. So we're gonna take and turn it and slice it back that way. You wanna come right down the middle where the point meets in with the flat. Usually right in the middle. Man, there we go. Woo-wee. Oh man, dripping with juice. I'm not gonna squeeze this thing out. Don't squeeze the Charmin. I mean, we could, maybe a little, that's all I'm gonna do. So we got our point right there. Now, I'm gonna turn this flat this way, and we're just gonna slice. And falling apart a little more than I want. Ideally what you want is for these things to come off in slices. You want to be able to take and lift them up, flap them like that, have it hanging over both sides, and it'll clap. Right now, this is a little too done, but god dang the juice, man. There we go. We can take that and slice that up a couple different ways. That's our burnt end right there, one of them. What we'll do now is get into this point. Actually, I'm going to take this burnt end right here. You can see this. And the burnt end really is just the edges, like the corner edges of the brisket that get done. Take and slice that off. We'll set that aside. We're going to take this one over here too. The consistency in there, I mean, you can see the smoke ring in there, and it's nothing more than the more done parts on the edge of the brisket. Go, slicing the point. And this is your more fatty piece. Woo, man, this thing is still hot, hot. Take that, lay that over there. And I'll tell you what, some of these, you can see they're just kind of falling apart. That's a sign that it's a little more done than I wanted it to be. I'm surprised. This thing ran, I put it on at 3:30 in the morning, wrapped it around 7 when it reached a little over 165. And it got to 203, 203 to 204. Gosh, right around, I want to say around 12 o'clock in the afternoon when we pulled it. Let it rest for a couple hours. Yeah, no two briskets are the same. Some of this stuff that's falling apart in the flat and in here in the point, that's fine. It's almost like you would do a pulled pork taco. This would be like we could do brisket tacos with this right now. I'm telling you, I want to get in here and get me one of these pieces of the point right here. Let's try this bad boy right here. Boy, the flavor from that simple beef rub just gets all the way through. That's so moist, so juicy, and still hot. It's fun making a brisket, and I've never made the same brisket twice. Every brisket is different, and boy, I almost lost this one. Some would say I did lose it, but I'll tell you what, the flavor on this thing is it's amazing. I love brisket, and we'll do it again. I hope you come back for the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. Thanks. Trimmed up. Let's get our seasoning on this stuff. Simple beef rub. Let's get it. Oh, you just straight failed.